I wanted to show you a dilemma that happens to me all the time. This is one of those instances where I have an absolutely killer sky. I mean, I'm gonna actually spin you around so you can take a look here. Look at that sky. Look at that sky. Isn't that killer? Holy mackerel. But the issue is, I have no composition. I don't know where I would go, where I'm going. And this happens to me all the time. So I have about 30 minutes until sunset. So it's gonna be probably the shortest video that you'll ever see from me. But I'm gonna see if I can grab something. This is gonna be one of those lessons in time management to the extreme. So I'm gonna try my absolute best here to see what I can do. I mean, this is one of those skies that, like, skies of the year kind of thing, dude. So this happens to me all the time, actually. Out here in Central Oregon, we get some pretty stellar skies out here, and the skies just come up out of nowhere. I mean, this is definitely not rare, but you'd be surprised at how, I guess, unprepared you can be. See, the big issue is not really so much a lack of locations. I have plenty to work with, but more the issue is proximity. Most of the areas I have in mind are far, and I would never make it in time. So I need to find some place within 20 minutes. So let's let's do what we can here to make this happen. Okay, I think I found something. I have like maybe 10 minutes, if that. So here comes the disadvantage for me is I have to film this at the same time while getting all my gear and hoping I catch something, and it's starting to rain. So let's test my wherewithal. Okay, so since I've got 10 minutes here, it's not going to be any fancy angles or anything like that. It's just going to be bare bones shooting and doing the absolute best I can. I mean, if you could see behind me that sun, this sky is one of those once in a lifetime shots, and I'm just really kicking myself that I was not prepared for this at all. But sometimes you do the best you can, and that's kind of the disadvantage of being a photographer, in that you always want to get the best light, you know, all the time. And then when it finally happens, you're not even ready. But this is the absolute best I could find in such a short time notice. And it might work because I've got a magical ingredient, my friends. It is called a leading line. And let me what I got here. Check that out. I've only got a 35 millimeter is the farthest I can go with my Sony, with my camera. So I'm gonna do my absolute best for you guys, okay? You hear that splattering? That's rain. And I had to stop what I was doing to grab some kind of rain protection. Oh man. If you ever wanted to test yourself as a photographer, how many stress points do I get here? Like 52 in a matter of 10 minutes? Okay, all I'm doing is getting some bare bones essentials here. I forgot, of course, on a sunny day like today, I was not expecting this, so raincoat. I always have that in my car at all times, but to protect the camera is more of a bigger issue. And all I can see here is my daughter's little pink coat. This is survivalist photography at its best, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm gonna do my darndest here to get you a shot. Thank you, my little daughter's coat. So really quickly, you can see my setup here. I have my coat, my little daughter's coat over the camera, and that is survivalist photography, guys. And see the rain still coming down. So I'm gonna get on it and see what we can do. So I'm not really gonna show you my composition because I'm literally eating on minutes here. But you can kind of see what I'm going for. Kind of a nice S curve. It just bothers me that I have this beautiful sky and this is my subject. But it is what it is, so we do what we have to do. So it stopped raining. I can prop you guys back up without much worry here. So I got that shot. We're gonna go right across the road and see what we can grab over here. There's a pretty massive thunderstorm, thunderhead over here that I think we can work with pretty well. It's just kind of still frustrating to me that it's this beautiful light and all I have is like an irrigation canal to do. So we will see what happens here. It's just so frustrating. I mean, this is light. These are right here, right now. This is what photographers dream of every single time they go out. Like that. I mean, this is dream sky. And I'm shooting an irrigation ditch. All right, let's do the best we can here with what we got. Rain on my lens. Almost time. So as you probably see, the scene I have here is pretty easy, right? It's just a leading line and Paulina Peak is right there. Normally you can see her pretty well, but that sky is obviously our main focus. So I do have a nice leading line leading out to a peak. In post, this is where you could take some liberties, and Paulina, obviously you can barely see her. And if I can kind of brush that with a darker brush to kind of burn a little bit, I can make her stand out a little bit more. And I have these nice trees here. It kind of is a nice wrap up to this very flat open field. And I would love to get down closer, but I don't think I can make it. It's all marshy and nasty right there. So, you know, I will take it. I know I keep kicking myself about the irrigation ditch thing, but I actually am patting myself on the back here because that was quick thinking, quick intuition, and I knew there was a ditch here around here somewhere that is usually full around this time of year. It is the beginning of June, and this ditch lasts for like a month, and then after that they dry it out. So at least I have something to at least I had something to work with, right? So sometimes the lesson here is sometimes you can't be too hard on yourself. Sometimes you have to just go with the flow. And there are times like this when I have seen skies like this and I have not been able to do a thing. So sometimes if you do get skies like this, sometimes it's best just to sit back, relax, and just enjoy it. Just enjoy Mama Nature's show. But today we were fortunate to be able to make something happen. Okay, I do have I do have time for one quick tip regarding sunsets like these. So you don't have a lot of time, right? So obviously the sky, which has the sun, is obviously going to catch color first. But this advantage here on the other side right behind me, it does sometimes catch light. It depends on the intensity. In this case, I think it will, because see how bright that is over there? And the reason why I think that's going to work is because look up there. You see those kind of more thin clouds, and you have big chunkier ones? That's the magic recipe for good light. If it was all thick and overcast, it would catch nothing. But I think we are in for a treat, boys and girls, because I have over there, right where my finger is, that's bright. That's a very light layer of clouds. Right here's thick light. And if the light layer clouds are more toward the horizon, that light goes up in the atmosphere. And that's where you have burn. Well, I was right. It did catch. Look at that. Isn't that freaking cool? Isn't that just badass? And that's why sometimes being a photographer is really, really cool, because things like this just happen. Like, you can't even predict it. You can have all the weather apps in the world and they just do not compete unless you see it in person and you watch the weather turn in real time. Wow. I think the hardest part is choosing which side to do. I think right here is where my priority should be right now. I still can't believe we made something happen. Freaking incredible, man. And that sky is still turning. Look at that. Isn't that freaking unbelievable? I mean, nature always takes my breath away. It leaves you breathless sometimes. And this is one of those trips that I was so glad I was able to take you guys with me. So, if you guys like this video, like and subscribe down below. And here are all the photos we got on this tiny little petite trip. We will see you next time. Bye-bye. That's a wrap.